Hello, my name is Audra, and I decided to do my final topic on business ethics. First, what is business ethics? Business ethics focuses on what constitutes right or wrong behavior in the business world and how business persons apply moral and ethical principles to situations that arise in the workplace. And ethics is something that can be kind of difficult to define. Therefore, laws on ethics are broad in structure so that they can be applied to many different cases. It's one of those things where you know it when you see it, and that's why laws on ethics have to be so broad so that when multiple cases come up, there is some kind of standard out there for it. The history of business ethics is that it has changed dramatically over time. It hasn't been discussed much in the past, but it is definitely something that we are all aware and conscious of now. And in the 1960s, codes of conduct were truly introduced around that time. And a code of conduct is an organization's values and principles that they plan to uphold. The increase of individuals in the workplace brought this on because there were more cultural views, and so that made companies realize that policies need to be put in place. In the 1990s, organizations who had poor business ethics were brought into the courtroom, and society decided that companies should operate with solid business ethics or pay penalties, which could be fines or other things like that. Today, business ethics is discussed frequently, and we see it all over the news and things like that. So now our main thing is the internet and how we should discuss ethics in that way, as that's kind of a new thing in the business world for us. There was no one particular court case that the topic of business ethics became relevant. Business professionals believe, though, that the 1960s was a turning point for ethics in business. There are a few court cases that really stand out from that time. One is Jones versus Mayer Company of 1968, and that made it so that the federal law banned all racial discrimination, both private and public, in sale or rental of property. And another one that was a noteworthy case for business ethics was Meritor Savings Bank versus Vinson, and that was where the court found that the claim of a hostile work environment or sexual harassment may be brought under the Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. In cases like this helped to bring light to ethical issues that were happening, and it also made companies aware that they needed to put policies in place to stop these sort of unethical things from happening. Today, there's a couple court cases that we're going to take a look at. One is Wells Fargo court case. In 2016, employees were caught creating fake accounts and using clients' credit card information on applications. And they did this unethical thing in order to hit sales goals and receive bonuses. So over the course of several years, about 5,300 employees were let go due to this unethical conduct. And Wells Fargo ended up losing a lot of money and clients due to these unethical practices. Another court case is the Walmart court case where a former employee filed a lawsuit due to not having been paid for overtime and was also being forced to work through scheduled breaks. That's either just for meals or just break times. They still were making him work, and other employees that he knew of. And when he came forward with this, roughly 20,000 other employees, current and former, came forth agreeing to his case that he filed, saying similar things. And a Walmart spokesperson said that what happened was against their policy that they had in place. However, even though they had the standards in place, Walmart still allowed this unethical occurrences to happen to multiple employees. So this unethical thing cost Walmart money and their reputation because things were being done unethically by their staff members. Why business ethics is so important today is because everyone deserves to be treated fairly. Nobody should have to go to work and worry about being treated differently and unethically with just different things. And also, as Christians, it's important because God wants us to do what is right, and being ethical is doing the right thing versus what is wrong. And unethical corporate decision making can negatively affect suppliers, consumers, the community, and society as a whole. So when somebody does something that is unethical, it doesn't just affect one person, it typically affects several people, and that doesn't benefit anybody. Here are my references that I had. Thank you for listening.